time is 9:53 p.m. Good evening. The news headline. Breaking. River government drags federal government to Supreme Court over VAT revenue. River State government drags federal government to Supreme Court over the value-added tax revenue. Practitioners and other experts who spoke to Nigerian Tribune averred the judgment remained the law and should be compiled by all parties, with some of the experts stating that it was another acid test for the country. In their view, the judgment resonated with demand for restructuring of the country on the basis of principle of federalism. A senior advocate of Nigeria, San John Baishia, said there was no controversy over the step taken by Wike based on the declarative judgment of the High Court. The judgment of the Federal High Court on subject remains valid until it is set aside by a higher court. There is no controversy about the position of the law on this. So, as it stands, Rivers State has the right to collect VAT as ordered by the Federal High Court in Port Harcourt, he said. Those who make peaceful change impossible make violent change inevitable. Nigerians has reported that the Lagos State House of Assembly on Thursday passed the value-added tax bill, which the Speaker Mudashiru Obasa directed that the acting clerk of the House, Olalekan Onofeko, to transmit a clean copy of the bill to Governor Sanwo-Olu for assent. Adegboruwa, in a statement entitled State VAT Laws is a Form of Restructuring, and commending Governor Wike for starting this revolution, and he advised the Lagos State government to seek an order from the Lagos High Court for immediate compliance with the VAT law by all persons and authority. It is a good beginning, enough of feeding bottle federalism and Abuja financial pilgrimage, he wrote, adding that other laws should follow. It all started when the Federal High Court sitting in Port Harcourt last month in a judgment in suit number FHC PHCS 149/2020 gave a declarative judgment that the Rivers State government had the powers to collect VAT within its territory. Although the Federal Inland Revenue Service, known as FIRS, applied to the courts for a stay of execution, Justice Stephen Palm rejected the application. And this is a commendation coming from a senior advocate of Nigeria known as Ebun Olu Adegboruwa San on a Thursday, where he lauded the Governor Wike, saying that he has taken a good step, for Rivers State by starting what he called a revolution that would put a stop to the feeding bottle federalism and Abuja financial pilgrimage, in his words. He said that the rights activist applauded Wike and his Lagos State counterpart, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, for championing the agitation for fiscal federalism for states in the country, saying that the country is becoming lopsided with his federalism, and that it has to be made equitable, saying that the value-added tax, where the Lagos State House of Assembly of recent, they just passed the value-added tax bill, where the Speaker Mudashiru Obasa directed the acting clerk of the House, Olalekan Onofeko, to transmit a clean copy of the bill to Governor Sanwo-Olu for his assent, where they said that the Lagos State government needs to seek an order from the Lagos High Court for immediate compliance with the VAT, saying that there is a financial a constitutional backing that the state government has powers to collect value-added tax within their territory, and considering this fact, it has become a good thing, because just of recent, the governor lamented that the injustice in the country, that is in Rivers State, had become so paramount that they generated 15 billion naira value-added tax revenue in June this year, but got 4.7 billion in return, while Kano generated 2.8 billion in the same month and got back the same 2.8 billion naira. He said that 46.4 billion naira was collected from Lagos State in the same month, but the federal government gave Lagos 9.3 billion naira. Sometimes you don't want to believe these things, he added. Wike had also assented to the River State Value-Added Tax Law 2021 in August after it was passed by the State House of Assembly, and some states have since followed, with the Lagos State House of Assembly on Thursday passing the Value-Added Tax Bill. The value-added tax is a consumption tax paid when goods are purchased and services are rendered, and it is charged at a rate of 7.5%, and it is becoming, a pest to different states who generate much value-added tax, but at the end of the day, what they get in return is actually substandard, and it seems as if they are being pested on, like I said, because that is why Governor Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State and Governor Wike had championed the revolution in terms of this value-added tax, because they said that, according to the report from River State Governor Wike, said that they generated about 15 billion naira value-added tax in June, but what the federal government gave them in return was 4.7 billion naira, while in Kano State they earned 2.8 billion naira as value-added tax, and the federal government gave them back the same amount of money, and that they cannot really believe what is going on, because it is actually injustice in the country, especially in the area of resource allocation. Speaking at a stakeholders meeting on Wednesday in Port Harcourt, the governor ordered companies based in the state to start paying their value-added tax to the state government beginning from this September. The governor also said that the Federal High Court sitting in Port Harcourt, in a judgment in suit number FHC PHCS 149/2020, has held that the River State government had powers to collect value-added tax within its territory, and the FIRS applied to the court for a stay of execution, where justice, that they should not commence with that, but Justice Stephen Palm rejected that application, saying granting it would negate the principle of equity. Good evening, thanks for listening.